There's something truly profound that happens as we grow older, not just in our bodies, but in the way we understand the meaning behind things. We start to slow down, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. We stop sprinting past life's moments, and instead we begin to reflect, to feel, to ask questions we once ignored. And one of those quiet, deeply personal questions sounds like this. Why have I seen my own body through so many different lenses? Why does one single part of the body, the female breast, specifically the nipple, carry such conflicting messages? One moment it feels like a source of comfort, the next it's loaded with desire, shame, or curiosity. And today we're going to gently unwrap the emotional and psychological story behind it. Because this is not just about anatomy, it's about memory, identity, femininity, and the two parallel truths the female nipple carries. Truths that can be healing to understand, especially as we age. Let's start here. How is it possible that the same physical part, the nipple, can hold two completely different meanings depending on the moment, the memory, or the relationship? On one side, it is a symbol of nurturing. On the other, it is a source of erotic desire. And the truth is, these meanings are not in conflict. They are coexisting energies, equally valid and deeply human. And the way we emotionally interpret those roles as women, as partners, and as aging adults can reshape how we feel about our bodies, how we touch, and how we let ourselves be touched. For many women, the first time their chest was touched in a deeply meaningful way, it had nothing to do with arousal, it had everything to do with comfort, safety, warmth, connection. Think about a newborn child placed on a mother's chest. Think of the heartbeat, the softness, the immediate bond. During breastfeeding, a powerful hormone is released, oxytocin, often called the love hormone or bonding hormone. It doesn't just help with milk flow, it literally wires the brain for connection. It creates a chemical feeling of trust, of emotional safety, of oneness between mother and child. In that context, the nipple is not sexual at all. It is sacred. It is life-giving. It is a bridge between two hearts. But life changes, and so do our bodies, and so do the meanings we attach to them. As we move into adolescence, young adulthood, or romantic exploration, suddenly that same part of the body, the nipple, is seen differently. It becomes eroticized, desired, admired, or sadly, even objectified. And again, science supports this shift. Neurological studies show that the nipple activates the somatosensory cortex, the same region of the brain activated during genital stimulation. This means, when stimulated with care and desire, the nipple can be a true pleasure center. For many women, it can even contribute to orgasm or deep arousal. But here's the catch. Many women carry an inner conflict about this dual role, because they've felt the sacred and they've felt the sexualized. But rarely have they been given the language to hold both with confidence. She may have nursed her babies with that same chest. She may have seen her breasts change with age, with weight, with pregnancy or menopause. And at the same time, she's seen how the world looks at her, how partners or media define her worth through her body. This can create a kind of emotional dissonance, where one moment she feels that her chest is hers, and the next, it feels like it belongs to someone else's eyes. That tension between nurturing and desire can cause quiet, lifelong confusion. And it's not her fault. As women enter their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, touch itself begins to change. Some areas become more sensitive, others less so. And instead of accepting this as a natural, beautiful evolution, many women blame themselves. They say, "Why don't I feel like I used to? Am I broken? Is something wrong with me?" The answer is no. You are not broken. Your body is evolving, and so are your emotional needs. What's changing isn't your worth, it's the context. And that's something you can reclaim with grace, wisdom, and communication. Let's get clear. Intimacy is not about sex. It's about being seen. It's about emotional safety, presence, and being held with gentle awareness. It's the kind of touch that says, "I'm with you. I cherish you. I know you." It's the hug that lingers, the warm hand on your back in the kitchen, the gaze across the room that tells you still matter. Eroticism, on the other hand, is about energy, fire, excitement, the sense of being wanted. And neither of these things are wrong. But for many women, especially in later life, intimacy must come before eroticism. Because when a woman feels safe, when she feels seen, her body responds, sometimes in ways that even surprise her. Here's the truth most people never hear. The same touch can feel amazing or invasive, depending entirely on emotional context. If a woman feels rushed, unseen, or objectified, even the softest caress can feel wrong. But if she feels respected, honored, held emotionally, that same touch can awaken something deep and real. Something powerful. This is why we must move beyond technique and into emotional attunement. And yes, this takes work, but it's worth it because it brings connection, healing, and freedom. Now here's something that most couples, especially long-term couples, struggle with, but rarely say out loud. It's not always that one partner wants more intimacy and the other doesn't. Often the truth is far more subtle. It's this: I want to be close to you, but I need something first before I can go there. That something might be emotional presence. It might be reassurance. It might be the feeling of being seen as a whole person, not just a body. This is why communication is not optional. It's essential. Women often find themselves stuck between wanting physical closeness and not knowing how to ask for it in a way that feels safe. Men, meanwhile, may feel confused or rejected when their touch is met with resistance, not realizing that what's needed isn't rejection. It's rhythm, safety, pacing. And the key to breaking this cycle is honesty, with tenderness. It's saying things like, I want to feel your arms around me, but I need it to start gently. This part of my body feels different now. Can we explore it slowly? And on the other side, it's the man saying, what would feel good to you right now? Can I hold you without any expectations? This is where connection becomes sacred. Not because it's perfect, but because it's honest. Let's talk about the big fear no one likes to name: aging. Our culture treats aging like something to be avoided, hidden, or feared, especially for women. But here's what I want to say from the bottom of my heart, as someone who has worked with women of all ages for decades. Aging is not the loss of beauty. It is the revelation of truth. As women move through menopause, their relationship with their body changes again. Some feel more empowered. Some feel more vulnerable. Some feel both at the same time. Hormonal changes can shift sensation. Breasts may feel different, more tender, more numb, more reactive. Nipples that once sparked instant excitement may now require slower touch or a different rhythm. And all of that is okay. It's not failure. It's not dysfunction. It's simply evolution. When we stop asking our bodies to behave like they did at 20, we begin to really listen to them. And listening brings freedom. So what about the nipple in all of this? Why does it matter? Because it's a symbol of complexity, of duality, of womanhood itself. It's the point on the body where life meets longing, where motherhood and womanhood converge, where nurturing and desire coexist, not in contradiction, but in harmony. It reminds us that our bodies are not one-dimensional. They carry history, emotion, pleasure, pain, healing, identity. The nipple isn't just about function or arousal. It's about meaning. And for a woman to reclaim her relationship with this part of herself, on her terms, is an act of courage. It's an act of wholeness. A man who truly understands his partner, especially in midlife and beyond, knows that her body is not something to be figured out. It's something to be listened to. He learns that the journey is no longer about turning her on, but about tuning in. He asks questions. He slows down. He reads not just her body, but her breath, her silence, her smile, her sigh. He learns that when she pulls away, it may not be because she doesn't want him, but because she needs a different kind of approach. And when he meets her with patience, without rushing, without expectation, she begins to unfold in ways that even surprise herself. This is the gift of presence, and it is far more powerful than any technique. So what's the real message here? The female nipple is not a problem to solve. It's not a button to press. It's a mirror of a woman's lived experience. It reflects her story, her comfort, her vulnerability, her resilience, her passion. It is not just sexual. It is not just maternal. It is emotional, biological, psychological, and symbolic. When partners honor this, the body becomes something deeper than a site of stimulation. It becomes a home for closeness, for renewal, for rediscovery at any age. If anything in this conversation made you pause, reflect, or feel seen, know this: you are not alone. This is why we're here. This channel is a space for real conversations about aging, sexuality, female psychology, and everything in between. We're building a thoughtful, compassionate community, A place where your questions, your story, your growth, they all matter. So if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe. Not for me, but for you. To stay connected to the kinds of reflections and reminders that bring you back to yourself. Let's keep walking this journey, one honest conversation at a time.